Hey guys, Isaac here from GrizzlyStik. Today I'm going to be running my Bob Lee recurve 65 pounder through a bear shaft tune with my new set of GrizzlyStiks. One thing that I do want to say right off the bat, just to let everyone know, is that typically when we think of traditional bow hunting and bear shaft tuning, we think of cutting off the back side with a knock, and for GrizzlyStik specifically, we actually can only cut off the front, so we will be using hot melt glue and a pretty lengthy field point to stay away from the carbon, and we'll be cutting off as much as we need to straighten out the arrow. Me being a left-handed shooter, if the knock is to the right, that means that I have way too weak of an arrow shaft. So we'll get to shooting, we'll find out where my knock is, and for these, honestly, I feel like it's probably going to line up just right, but I will talk you through the steps in case you guys do need to cut down your arrow shaft. So I'm going to take a few shots here at Top Gun Archery using their target. I'm just inside because it is dark out. Also, it's good to do this inside so you can stay away from the wind. Also note, if some of you guys are going to use lighted nocks, it is a good choice to put it in right now. We know that that's going to make the arrow react as a stiffer spine, so we want to put those in and see what we have as the stiffest reading. Now, when we change it out and don't use a lighted knock for our practice, the fletchings will hide that little bit of variation, but just for the note of bear shaft, if you are using a lighted knock, go ahead and put it in. I personally won't be. So let me take a few shots. I do want to take a few shots just to make sure that my reading is consistent. That one, the arrow, surprisingly actually, it was completely straight and I might not have to do any adjusting. This will be my last shot. If it lines up perfectly, then I'm going to be good to go. So after I did some shooting, I did find a consistent reading of this arrow shaft being completely straight. For my bow being 65 pounds, this is a Momentum Black 250 with a 315 grain point and just the standard 100 grain brass insert. That seems like a lot of weight, but I'm someone that I don't like to follow the 10 grain per pound rule for traditional archery. This one puts me just above 12, and that's personally what I think is best for my hand shock as well as the silence of the bow. And as always, the 315 grain point really bumps up my FOC. Next, we'll take it to a chronograph just to be able to calculate our momentum. So I'm here in front of the chronograph. I just want to make a note that I am not doing this in order to track my speed. I don't feel speed is important, but I want to use that speed to be able to take my arrow weight and calculate my momentum. So let's figure out where I'm at. So I just want to make a note that bear shaft tuning for traditional archers normally isn't that easy. I did go through another weaker spine arrow and figure out that I was too short, was not going to work out with how stiff I needed it to go for my tune, and I had to bump up an arrow spine. And that's the glory of the GrizzlyStik test pack, is you can get an arrow at 330 spine and 250 spine, or a 450 and a 330, and figure out what works best for your bow before you order a 6-pack. So now that I have my 250s and I know they're perfect, I can order up my 6 arrows, fletch them up, head outside, and get ready for turkey season. But I want to show you guys the film of what it's like to cut down an arrow and go through those steps in order to properly bear shaft tune. So at my starting point, I hit my spot. You can see it's right in my black dot, but the knock is way to the right. So I'm going to cut off. I'm going to start with a 1/2 inch because this is a pretty drastic change for being out of tune. I'll start with a 1/2 inch and then I'll see where I'm at again. I'll shoot again, shoot at the same dot, and hopefully this knock starts moving more to the left and more in line. So let's cut it off. So through conduction and hot melt glue, I'm going to heat my field point, and then it'll get nice and melted up near the insert, and I'll be able to just pull it out easily. Then we'll go back and we'll make a cut. Alright, so I'm back here. I'm going to be able to cut my arrow. I already have this machine lined up for me to cut off a 1/2, so I'm just going to press it against the back, set it inside. I am going to use protection. I do advise people use protection for this. These are some old glasses. I'm going to look nerdy. Yeah, but that's right. So, pressing against here. This is a 1/2 inch. I'm turning it on.
taking my glasses off, verifying that it is nice and square. Looks like we did a good job, so we'll go put that insert back in and we'll shoot it again.
Got my hot melt, got my torch, brass on my pliers, and got my arrow. So I'm just going to heat up some of the glue, heat up some of the brass, stick a little more glue on there just to be safe, put it in here. I'm going to give it a little bit, let it cool off, it'll be good to go. Well, my arrows are tuned, and I hope that this video is going to help you guys out in tuning your arrows also. I got all my arrows wrapped up. I'm going to start fletching these up, and I appreciate every one of you guys for watching this video. If you guys would like to support the GrizzlyStik YouTube, comment below and hit that subscribe button. Thank you.